about spoon carving, greenwood spoon carving, is we can utilise branch material which comes out of our gardens. And there's some beautiful woods growing in our gardens. So greenwood spoon carving is about utilising the bends that are there in the timber to give us the shaping of the spoon. So for example, this piece here, we could make a spoon that has that lovely curve in it. We could also get another one with a more subtle curve off that side. We have to always exclude the pit, which is that very centre. So that has to be excluded. So what I would do with this is I would use the throw and a beetle. I would place that through the pit and split it down through there. And that, the bit I can use is on this side over here. So I've got another one here, which gives a bit of an idea. Just put it up there. So you can see here how a spoon has been able to come out of that part there. So what we want to do is split that out of there first. You can see when it was split how it followed the tip down into the joint of the pit in there and then out again, which gives us a spoon that has a nice little hook on the end. So we're going to utilise the shape which is provided for us. So here's another really good example. This is eucalyptus caesia, and you can see every time the pit has divided, it's had a branch. One's become dominant, left the other behind. It's done the same here. That little branch in there caused this bend in here. So where we get a spoon is out of this side here. Another piece of this on the same tree had a right angle bend, which enabled us to create a spoon, a beautiful spoon with a right angle bend. The tools which we need really is to start out with a throw and a beetle to be able to split a piece of material down first. Then after that we use an axe to do the shaping. So this is a piece of olive. I split it down the centre and I'm able to create two spoon lengths. Both of these are just straight off the axe. So I've used the axe to do all that waste removal. The next step is to start to use the spoons. And if it helps, you can always draw on here what you're thinking you might want to do. So I can draw the inside part of that spoon shape there, and that's the area that I'm going to follow out. The Northern European tradition for making spoons is to use hook knives. These hook knives come in various types, various radii as well, depending on what we're shaping. These particular ones have a blade on each side, so you can work left and right with them. This is another double-sided one. This one here is a single-sided one. And there's times when that's handy because you can lever against here with your fingers. So to get this started, with green woodworking we work across the grain a lot. So I'm going to start carving that out of there. So I'm shaping a bowl here first. It gives me, I've got a nice fat handle to hang on to, and I can just keep working away. The important thing about spoon carving like this, with these extremely sharp knives, is to make sure that your cuts are always controlled. So you can see that both of my hands are involved with this. My left thumb is providing a lot of control and providing some pressure. My right hand is providing a lot of the power. And those coming together enable me to have a nice controlled cut. This is a great activity for sitting in a chair with a bunch of friends, carving spoons together. The slow part is getting started because you've got such a small area of the spoon, of the blade in contact with the spoon. And as we get deeper, so our cuts will become more efficient because we'll have a greater radius that are working in there. Down a bit deeper. here to get started. Because of the shape of my blank, I'm going to do a deeper spoon with this, so I'm going to end up probably using this one here, which will enable me to go a little bit deeper. We've got a way to go with this yet. Just you can see how we're gradually shaping it out. So along the way I'll be controlling the depth and the overall shape of that bowl as it goes in there. So as we get the bowl to the depth that we want, then we move around to the other side, and that's where we would change over to the Sloyd knife. So there are a number of cuts which we use to keep it safe. The last thing we need is this blade slashing wildly in the air. So all of our cuts are going to be controlled. This is one of the cuts. With a long blade, and you skew it like that, you can take quite substantial pieces off in the waste removal. Another way of doing this, what we call a power cut, is pushing from the shoulder. But again, you can only stop there. So it's a good, safe cut to do. So that's part of the waste removal process. When we're getting into the shaping around here, so we don't have extra blade to get into that part of the hand, we might go to a smaller knife. And that smaller knife enables us to come into here and start to do our shaping in the back area here and on here. So you see a bit further down the line, there's a little spoon that was just made out of an offcut lying around. You can create a lovely textured finish if you want, just making all those little facets on the back. You can use this blade for doing little fancy finials on the end of the spoon. So it's a lot of finger controlled work with a knife. Lots of nice finger work. Fun things like that. Sometimes you have an idea and you start to make your spoon, but the wood tells you otherwise. Something else will happen. You discover something in the grain. So there's times when your design changes. This deep part here is a very Norwegian style of spoon. So it can be quite narrow here, but it has the strength because the strip comes off the bottom of the bowl. These are lovely spoons. These are user spoons. These are something that you use to eat. You'll probably make this a little bit shallower, but it's a very lovely soup slurp of this one. You can do all sorts of different shaping. So I've got a few variations here. This is one of my favourites. It was just cut out, split out with an axe, and just this nice shaping here, which was done. And I like that faceted surface there. So once you carve these with the wood while it's green, there's two ways of doing the drying. One way is to just let it sit around and let it take its time. Because if you were going to sand it, you can't sand it while it's green. It's only going to clog up the paper. So you dry it. You can also dry them in the microwave carefully. It's another way of doing it. Or the Northern Europeans used to use it. A baked potato, or sorry, a boiled potato, and rub it all over and then leave it in the fire for a couple of days. And maybe it was the starches in there which sort of helped to sort of clog up the pores to even out the drying process. So again, you can utilise the curve to be able to create beautiful spoons. The beautiful thing about spoon carving is it's a bit like establishing a relationship with this piece of the tree. We work with a piece of wood, we work with some very basic tools, and along the process, we create beautiful functional items. It's a very sensual process, because as you're working with it, you can feel the wood responding, you can hear it as it's cutting, you can smell the aroma of the wood, you can see what's happening, you can see it forming, create beautiful forms in your relationship with that piece of wood and with your tools. And that's one of the lovely things about spoon carving. It's a very primal thing, but it's a very social thing.